Hi, so this is my second YouTube channel video, but I look awkward throughout this whole thing, but I'm just trying to put out videos about things that I think other people should know about. So this is just a daily makeup tutorial thing. Um, but yeah, this is my second video and I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Okay, so first I'm using a BB cream from L'Oreal. And I'm going to be putting it on just a brush. This one broke, but I'm using it anyway, and I'm just gonna spread it all over my face, and then later on my neck and upper chest. Okay, so now I'm using a bronzer palette. This, honestly, you can use bronzer for contour or bronzer. I'm using 3 different colors that fit my skin tone. I have a pretty light skin tone, so I chose the lightest 3 colors on there. Darkest I use for my inners of my cheeks, and then second to darkest I use for highlighting the under part of my cheekbones, and the lightest I use for the corners of my eyes to kind of sink them in. I do the sides of my noses and my corners and around my forehead just to give it depth and kind of accent it. Then I blend everything in with a larger brush that doesn't have the makeup on it, so it's more subtle and you don't have lines all over your face like a zebra. So now I'm using the palette again, the lightest color for my neck, and you kind of just make lines here and there to kind of make your little neck look smaller, and to make it look tan but not too tan, to give it some depth. And then I use the second lightest color on the inner workings of my collarbone to make them pop out, and then the darkest underneath my collarbone line, and just a blending of it all around my chest area and the back and everything to make it even. So now for the eyeshadow, I usually use a sort of neutral, not too dark, but like sort of skin brown color for the crease of my eye. I think highlighting or putting a dark color in the crease of your eye sort of makes your eyes pop out more because it sinks in the eyelid. So I rub that in the crease of both eyes. Now I take a sort of champagne-y pink color that's sparkly. It kind of makes, your eyes pop a little, but I just put that on the lid of my eye, and I try to make sure not to interfere with the work I just did on the crease. I put that all over, not too thick, but just a layer good enough to see. Then I rub sort of like what I have on my brush a little bit on the corners of my eyes, just kind of makes them stick out more and blends it in better so it's not like you have makeup just on top. And then I just lightly brush it all over to get rid of any defined looking lines and make it look more natural. So eyelash curlers, I use those just because my eyelashes naturally grow out straight. They don't hurt your eyelashes, they really just bend them. If you use them wrong, they hurt them because you could pull them out, but if you use it right, all it does is just lift them up. Then I use a mascara. Really just use a mascara that works for you. Everybody's different. Some people like the mascaras that are really thick. I personally just like regular mascara that's pretty thin because I don't like a lot of clumping or anything. And then I just twist my brush a little bit and I go up, and that helps to really comb through all of the lashes in your eye. Then you can put mascara on your bottom lashes if you want to. Sometimes it can interfere with the waterline and it might smudge a little, but I think it just makes your eyes pop a little more. Okay, so then you're going to want to do your eyebrows. I take a eyebrow pencil that's my color and I use a brush just because I don't like putting the pencil directly on because it can be too intense sometimes. And then you make a baseline kind of just to get that middle part, and then you just lightly tap to kind of make it look natural and start to fill in your eyebrows. Now everybody has different eyebrows, so this is what works for my eyebrow shape. Don't exactly know what will work for everyone though, but if you have something similar to mine, this should work. And then just like filling in the edges in case they're just not really all straight and kind of messy. That's what I do. So then I take a brush and I just blend out the color because, you know, you don't want it to be like, look like you drew them on even though you did. But I just brush it through to make it look more natural. And you can find these brushes anywhere, or you could just use an old mascara brush that doesn't really have anything on it. Honestly, anything will work. Then I take a concealer and I put it underneath my eyebrows just so they can blend in more, and also just so they're highlighted and it's not like the makeup is going into my eyelid or anything, just to give a defined line there. So if you have any blemishes, which honestly I don't have too many, but if you have like red dots as it's on your face, the color green really neutralizes those colors. So if you take a green concealer and just dab it on here and there, if you do have blemishes, it helps to cover them up. Then just to make sure that like you don't have these green spots on your face, then you cover that up with your concealer just to give it a more natural tone after you've covered up the red with the green. So doing highlight is always optional. I like it because it just brightens up my face, and also I like it in the summertime. Wintertime doesn't really make a difference, but this is a liquid highlighter. Really, it's just a sparkly liquid. You could use like lip gloss or something really, but I usually highlight the upper parts of my cheeks because those see the sun, my nose, and then the top part of my eyebrows because that makes them pop, but also that's another part where the sun shines. So then there's also powder highlighter. Um, this highlight palette I have has a lot of different colors. I'm using a purple color, but honestly, if you have fairer skin, you should use the lighter powders because those will highlight well on your skin. And then if you have a darker complexion, you should try and use the darker colors because those will look really nice. Now for your lips, I just use a moisturizing tinted chapstick because it is daily makeup and I don't want to go overboard, but also you got to keep your lips moisturized, so I use that and then blend it in with my finger, and then I use a gloss sometimes just in case I want a little extra. Okay, so that was it. I hope you enjoyed. It's not professional, but that's what I do. So, but yeah, it's pretty easy. It all takes about 30 minutes, so it's not that long. It's easy to do in the morning, and it's cheap. All those products I use, you buy at the drugstore or Walmart or anywhere. So, yeah, thank you. Bye.